Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be another YSL best of 3. This is going to be between Tho and Yumiko, so kind of, I guess that's probably the most common matchup, common pro matchup at least, over the years, so yeah. Not sure if anyone's getting sick of these because I'm pretty sure, or at least for me, I get entertained by watching these two players play each other. So yeah. Anyway, in the bottom left we have TH000's Yumiko spawning in as the blue human player, and his opponent is going to be Tho, the red undead player, who is, of course, off racing. That's just how it is. Apparently, Yumiko has been off racing recently. To be fairly honest, I'm not surprised. Because, well, you know, playing the same race for years and years to come, or at least years and years that have passed, pretty sure you'll eventually want to try something new. I guess that's just how I view Yumiko's viewpoint. In terms of Tho, I'm not sure entirely on his reasonings. All I know is that he doesn't usually like human mirrors. I actually forgot the particular reason for that, but who knows, maybe someone will eventually re-inform me, or inform me, whichever you want to believe. So yeah, Tomb of Relics Graveyard in that order, so we're just gonna have a pretty standard opening coming in from Tho. Did send an acolyte to scout out Yumiko and was not able to see what the hero was, and it is indeed a Mountain King first. Recently we didn't have many Mountain King firsts proving themselves too useful. Maybe Yumiko will, I guess, change that, but you know, he is versing Tho, and right now, Tho is red hot, I believe. I think so far in YSL I've casted one, maybe two, of his series already, and I think he still hasn't lost a series. So, yeah, I mean, like, come on, it's Tho, so, gotta expect that, I guess. We are going to have that acolyte actually staying alive. I'm going to switch out for a full health acolyte. Nerubian Tower has been completed. Halls of the Dead has started, so it is going to be tier 2 before those Crypt Fiends. But of course those Crypt Fiends will start production during that process. We are going to have Tho trying to make something happen with these skeletons. Level 2 has been gained for the Mountain King, so Yumiko will be able to utilize those bash. The chance of the stuns coming in from the bash. But yeah, the Mountain King in turn received quite a bit of damage, unfortunately. Null Brute will be taken down, and there's the tome. That tome that I always get confused with the Twisted Meadows Null Brute, because that one does not drop anything. So yeah, I knew I wasn't going crazy. It was just a matter of time until I actually see that Null Brute, and we are gonna have a surround, very nice surround coming in from Yumiko, able to force that TB scroll being used on those Death Knight. Death Knight did start Death Coil, so he does have that little bit of burst. We did see him use it against that Mountain King, and interestingly enough, we have double Crypts coming in from Yumiko. This could mean two things. It's going to be spotted immediately by Yumiko. Double Crypt Fiends by Tho, I meant. Sorry about that. This could mean mass ghouls, or it could mean gargoyles. And gargoyles against a human player, especially a human player that's gone Mountain King first, can be a little problematic for that particular human player, because all the anti-air anti-air damage generally comes from the Archmage and the elementals he summons. But since the Mountain King is the only hero for Yumiko so far, gargoyles could be a big problem for Yumiko. And there we go, double gargoyles are being popped out. We are going to have Yumiko place down a couple of towers, I guess. He only has one guard tower on the way. He needs more towers, definitely. But Yumiko once again going for another good surround, and will be able to take down those Death Knight at level 1. Fortunately, it is only level 1 for Thos, so it's going to be a rather cheap and quick revival. The gargoyles are popping out, and despite the fact that the gargoyles have been spotted, Yumiko is still going to go for that expand. We do have the 2 guard towers completed. However, those guard towers are generally positioned there to protect the peasant line, not necessarily to defend the town hall. So maybe we will have a couple of towers placed a little more forward to try and deal with those gargoyles. Gargoyles, however, are spending their time trying to harass Yumiko creeping. Only led to the aggro of the Drake. First kill for the Death Knight. Actually, the DK got himself a couple of kills before, so he is on his way to level 2. The gargoyles could potentially kill off the Red Drake. They do deal a fair amount of damage. It is melee damage, curiously enough, but you know, a lot of damage either way. +1 attack upgrades as well, so Yumiko needs to be rather careful because those gargoyles are being heavily invested on from Tho. +1 armor upgrades is not being researched just yet, which doesn't really necessarily have to be researched or upgraded, but you know, it's always nice because those gargoyles are unarmored, and well, they do take additional damage from those guard towers. So far Yumiko only has 2 towers in his main base, that 1 arcane tower, which will prove to be absolutely useless against those gargoyles. Although it is dealing a fair amount of damage, Death Knight is able to offer a death coil. We are going to have Lionheart of the Stormwind picked up from that Red Drake before. Stormbolt was able to kill off a gargoyle, and right now the footmen are utilizing the defend upgrade, or research defendability, that's the word, to try and reflect as much damage as possible back to those gargoyles. No masonry upgrades just yet for Yumiko. It is nearly completed, so yeah, those buildings will just take that much more to get killed, I guess, which is just 1 more armor, 1 point of armor. And Yumiko looks, despite, you know, facing an air army, he could potentially outscale his opponent because of that second base. TP staff is being used to try and TP to the main base. Oh, he's just going to pick up some items, actually. Not sure what kind of items. It could be ivory towers, it could be replenishments, which is going to be that. And yeah. So far Yumiko not able to finish those additional guard towers, but now that he does have a little bit of breathing room, we'll be able to most likely finish those, and the gargoyles will eventually, or at least soon, become unable to actually kill off these peasants. These peasants are kind of AFK, so maybe Yumiko needs to send them back to work. We are going to have obsidian statues being trained up as well. No black citadels, so this is not going to be a committed gargoyle into destroyer transition. It's going to be more focused on trying to keep these gargoyles alive, maybe a hit and run kind of play style. But let's see how this will work out, because all the footmen are actually chasing the Death Knight. They are chasing in the defend form, which is not as effective because they are slowed. But yeah, so hit and run kind of play style. Just go in, deal as much damage as possible, try and spread the damage as much as possible, and then heal up with the obsidian statue. Okay, here we go. The obsidian statue is also being added just to the front to try and just keep these gargoyles alive and try to make them receive a little more hits. And of course the death coil is available for the death knight, so he is able to heal those units on the spot. This is going to be rather difficult for Tho to break through because more guard towers are being added to the base, and we already have two that's fully operational. Death Knight, oh, he does not want to get surrounded again. He does not have a TB scroll, but he is going to get surrounded rather well executed by Yumiko as well. Obviously it's a lot easier when you have the Mountain King, but I mean, the fact that Tho was anticipating it and it still happened, it's pretty bad for him. And this strategy, which seemed to be rather good, or at least it seemed to be working in theory, it's not actually working out too well. Meat wagons are trying to be added to the army mix for Tho. Unfortunately, footmen are, being rather annoying, so keeping those meat wagons away from the actual buildings, but they are on the move, and Tho might be able to break the siege. It does look like Yumiko just wants to go for a base exchange. No Black Citadel, so it's not hitting as hard, but Nerubian Tower is up as well, so at least it's another tower to try and defend this base. But look at this gap over here. This is going to be able to provide a safe haven for these footmen, and yeah, these ghouls not having the best of times. Frost Nova able to try and deal some damage to that Mountain King. Scroll of Healing will be used, and a TB scroll as well. So was afraid of that Death Coil because of the initial Frost Nova. However, was able to force the TP and just prevent dying, and as well as prevent this base from falling, because apparently it was low enough for it to be on fire. Mountain King is going to be next to this Fountain of Health. Pretty nice Stormbolt over there. Let's try that again. Pretty nice Stormbolt over there to try and cancel, or at least prevent, the Gargoyle from cancelling his healing. But yeah, it is going to push him away from that Fountain of Health. It looks like he's going to pick up another TP scroll. There it is, TP scroll, and he wants to go for the base once again. He didn't really destroy much. He might be able to intercept this meat wagon, which does not look like it's going to happen. But still, I'm pretty sure that Tho still holds all the cards in his hand. And I mean, the only thing that this will accomplish is killing off these acolytes, and Tho has plenty of money actually to just compensate for this. He is gonna, oh, he was thinking of moving his gargoyles, but pretty much no point actually. I'm actually surprised the meat wagons are not being positioned to try and kill off these peasants, but oh well. Just forcing Yumiko to spend more resources on repairs anyway. Haunted Gold Mine is being rushed down. It is trying to be repaired by Tho. But will it be able to be destroyed? Who knows? Mountain King is trying to deal as much damage as possible to footmen. Still hammering away against that Haunted Gold Mine. No more acolytes available to try and repair this building. Level 5 on the Mountain King as well, so he is going to be rather powerful in the next couple of minutes. And the Haunted Gold Mine has been destroyed. TB Scroll will be used. Frost Nova was able to kill another footman, but that is pretty much it. And also, the meat wagons almost able to destroy the town hall. However, because of that, TB Scroll is forced to run away. And surprisingly enough, Yumiko has massed up a couple of riflemen, and if they have 600 armor, then not armor, range, then they are indeed upgraded. I believe they outrange Crypt Fiends as well, but seeing as there's no Crypt Fiends anyway, it's pretty much pointless to make that comparison. Rifleman will be able to deal plenty of damage against those gargoyles, and gargoyles do have a shorter range by about half, so not necessarily that good, but Rifleman, I mean, there's just so many gargoyles to begin with, but I think the numbers are being thinned out, especially with those Stormbolts. Level 3 Stormbolt is going to be able to one-shot those gargoyles, I believe. If not, then like almost one-shot. But anyway, but yeah, the fact that Yumiko was able to keep this base and fend off against those gargoyles, it's very impressive actually. But right now, Tho once again is knocking on the door. What will happen? Actually, I have no idea. Frost Nova could be placed on top of those peasants. It's going to be placed on top of the Mountain King instead. Not much of an army for Tho, in fact. The fact that he only has 3 Mii wagons, 4 gargoyles, and 2 of his heroes against a squadron of Mountain Kings. The Lich apparently died quicker than I thought. That was rather surprising, and the Mountain King able to force Tho to give the GG, and I believe that was one of Tho's like first losses in the YSL. I could be wrong, he might have lost 1, but yikes, that did not work out well for him. Anyway, I'll see you guys in game 2. Hope you guys have enjoyed.